What's going on, guys? Fight3 doing another video, and welcome back to an episode of Umineko When They Cry, episode 2. In the last video, Beatrice is done playing around. She just showed herself at the family conference. Everyone's talking about her except the cousins, who are doing absolutely nothing as usual. And yeah, if we go over to the characters, here she is, Beatrice, mysterious visitor and a 19th person. However, I do have a little bit of a theory going on. I'll wait to see what happens, but it involves this screen.
今日のお昼にお外で私たち会ったわよね、女の人に。あれは誰？
おお。
It was Shannon. Ooh.
何度も言ってる、ベアトリーチェ。
マリアは以前にベアトリーチェと会ったことがあるの？
Oh, she's mad.
毎年会ってる。
毎年？この六軒島のお屋敷で？
おお。
じゃわからないでしょ。
Oh no, do not do what I think you're about to do. Oh my god, Rosa, please
そう
no.
なの？
Please no.
いつから会ってるの？何年前から？
おお、わかんない。
わからない？どうして？去年？一昨年？
もっと前から。おお。
Oh no, yep. Rosa was aghast. Only the Ushiromiya mansion existed on this island. So there was no way there were humans other than themselves on this island. And yet Maria said that she had been meeting with that suspicious woman every year during the family conference. If what Maria said was true, then this strange woman called Beatrice had been at the family conference every year. Okay, yeah, that can't be true. That's insane. Is he saying that some eerie woman was at the family conference every year and none of us ever noticed it? Even though Rosa had just met herself a couple hours ago in the Rose Garden, she was overcome with a strange emotion which told her not to accept her. Okay, good job, Rosa. You've done something right. It may have taken, like, 8 episodes into episode 2, but you've finally not made me hate you. What in the world did I meet with earlier today in the Rose Garden as the typhoon grew close and the winds blew strong?
マリア、あなたは毎年彼女と会ってると言った。会って何をしてるの？
お歌を歌ったり、魔法を習ったり、魔法陣の書き方も習うの。
そう。それはすごいわね。
So that's why you drew a magic circle for your kindergarten project.
マリアがよく自由帳に落書きじゃない、魔法陣を書いたりしてるわよね。
Oh yeah, last time there were magic circles and she was really creepy with
それ
it.
も彼女に教えてもらったの。
ベアトリーチェにね、お手本書いてもらうの。ほらほら、見て見て。
Maria joyfully fished around in her handbag. Then she took out a notebook and started opening its pages. Most of the pages were covered with drawings that were literally scribbles. All of them were occult-like things. And while it might sound rude to Maria, who was joyfully flipping through the pages, they were all creepy.
ほらこれ、ベアトリーチェが書いてくれた。
Oh, those are some familiar symbols. Yeah, that's the scorpion charm. On each page Maria opened to, there was another eerie magic circle that had been drawn. Furthermore, at a glance, Rosa realized that Maria hadn't drawn them. The strength of the strokes, the thickness of the lines, how clean the shape was. This by itself wasn't enough to guess the background of the person who had drawn it. But this was enough for Rosa to understand that it was definitely someone older than Maria. What if they just went to the library, found someone who liked studying the occult, and they just drew it for them? It's not that hard. Rosa had to accept it now. There was really a person on Rokenzima who she hadn't ever known existed. And this person had been playing with Maria during the family conference every year. But that doesn't mean it's a witch.
マリア、その魔女のベアトリーチェはここに住んでいるの？それとも私たちのように島の外に住んでいるの？
These are just say both.
おお、ベアトリーチェは六軒島の魔女だから、この島に住んでる。
Okay, yeah. I don't know why, but with the mouths moving in particular, it's really hard to listen to Maria do the creepy talk because you can just see her eyes not moving as her mouth moves.
親族会議のない日にこの島にいる。
うん。
風じゃ
Oh
わ
no,
からないでしょ。
do not
どれ
know.
ろ。
うん。
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I can't believe it, I can't believe it. How long has this unknown witch been living on this island? I used to live on this island. Oh, are we playing as Rosa now? Fuck. I lived on this island, passing the time in the mansion in the Rose Garden. Even so, I never encountered a witch like that. Never, I think. Oh no, did she slap her?
ママどうしたの？マ
Oh.
頭が。
I could just imagine Maria slapped her there. I was probably getting a little mixed up with my memories from when I was a young girl. When I was a young girl, unlike Maria, I was very frightened of witches. So for me, the name Beatrice was a synonym for something frightening. So it must be that feeling of fear from my days as a young girl has been revived because a woman calling herself that has appeared. She couldn't be a witch. She's obviously a human calling herself Beatrice, right? Or she's just a woman named Beatrice. Oh yes, that witch entrusted me with an envelope. What in the world could it be? Rosa pulled the western envelope out of her pocket. Oh, wait, that was... Did a tip thing just happen? Oh. Okay, epitaph the... Lemur? What the hell is this? Thundary is the... No, this is not what I wanted. No. And it had been sealed with the red sealing wax of Head's ring which King so held, which meant the envelope belonged to the Ushiromiya head. In other words, it was from father. Why was this woman calling herself Beatrice holding it, and why did she climb through the window? This is like Romeo and Juliet style stuff. That's right. I'm sure she had to read this out loud at dinner. What in the world could be written inside? Anxiety gripped Rosa, as if opening the envelope might release some kind of memento disaster. I'm sure nothing bad is in that envelope. However, at the same time, a little curiosity sprouted up, causing her to want to find out what was written inside before the other siblings. Using common sense, one could guess that the huge decision somehow related to father's inheritance was probably written inside. Actually, since it had given it to a woman calling herself Beatrice, there was no way that wasn't related. Did this mean that he wanted the inheritance split not between 4, but between 5, including her? I need a large sum of money, and I can't wait long. I do feel like a sinful daughter for discussing the distribution of father's inheritance while he's still alive. However, I am no longer at a state where I can afford to keep everything pretty. And I'm even consulting with Rudolf Nissan and Eva Nissan. Why did... The perspective in this game is one of the few things that confuses me. Well, actually, not that confuses me. Everything about this game confuses me. But, like, the perspective, the way it's written, it switches back and forth between I and saying the name of the character. It's really strange. With myself in the situation, I can't help but sense something ominous in the appearance of the witch. What could be written in here? I'm sure there must be something frightening written. It just says, frick you. So I first read it secretly myself. On knowing Rosa, she's gonna read it herself. The witch had requested it to be done at the dinner table when everyone was gathered. However, in that case, couldn't she just read it out loud at the dinner table herself? Why did she go to all the trouble of entrusting it to me? Did that mean basically that it didn't matter whether... Wait, that's a good point. Okay. So, there's a letter. He gives it to Rosa. Why is he not showing herself in front of every... Okay, I am on to something. She does not show herself in front of it. Okay, hold up. Character page. Please don't be at the tips thing. Oh, I clicked the tips thing last time. I just realized that's 2 different buttons. Anyway, over here, she has showed herself to Yuri, Shannon, Rosa, and Maria. There has to be some kind of connection, because if she, like, if she wanted to show herself, she'd show herself to all of these people, but she hasn't, so something's definitely going on. It would be better to secretly read the contents first. I understood that would be breaking my promise, but this is no longer the time to keep things pretty. It just says frick you. It has to. It would probably be good to discuss it with Eva Nissan and Rudolf Nissan, depending on the contents. Nissan and the rest are always good thinkers when it comes to this kind of thing. As I gulped, I put my hand to the red sealing wax. Something suddenly pulled on my sleeve and I let out a small shriek. Nani?
マリアの驚かせないで。
Oh, they're gonna fight, I'm presuming, because Maria's just gonna be like, don't open it.
何？
ダメ。
Maria was making the same ominous expression Rosa had seen on the witch, sending a tingle up her
ベアトリーチェはママに、
Oh
その手紙は
no.
晩餐で読みなさいって言った。魔女の約束は破っちゃダメだよ。
違うわよ。ちょっと封筒を見ただけじゃない。約束は守るわよ。ママもいつもマリアに約束は守りなさいって言
She's
ってる
gonna
のね。
lose her shit. I can already tell that this episode is gonna be Rosa themed. At the beginning it was Shannon and Cannon themed, but now it's kinda Rosa themed.
ママももちろん約束は守るわよ。
ママはいい子。
その笑い方可愛くないからやめなさい。
Oh my god, that face. Maria has the best face.
そういえばマリアも封筒をもらったわよね。中にはなんて書いてあったの？
開けてない。ベアトリーチェは開ける時が来るまで開けちゃダメって言った。だから大事に持ってる。
そうマリアはベアトリーチェの言うことはちゃんと聞くのね。
Okay. I'm kinda a little sympathetic to Rosa in this situation because imagine, like, this, but I still don't forgive her for a couple episodes ago what she did to Maria in the Rose Garden, but whatever.
マリアはベアトリーチェの弟子だから、お師匠の言うことはちゃんと聞くの。
Oh, for a second I was about to say, did she not even open her mouth? Rosa realized something. Mixed in with Maria's gaze was the light of the... Oh. If she broke the rules and opened the envelope here, Beatrice would definitely find out about it. Because Maria was the witch... Oh. Maria communicated with that witch.
ママは約束を守るわ。だから安心するようベアトリーチェに言ってね。
伝える。
ねえマリア、ベアトリーチェとお話をしたいんだけど、どうすれば会えるのかしら。
Okay, now she's handling it the smart way. This is what Battler should have been doing in episode
知
1.
らない。ベアトリーチェはとても気まぐれだから、いつも突然姿を現すの。マリアからは会う方法を知らない。でもね、いつもマリアのことを見てるの。だからマリアが困っていると、後できっと助けてくれるの。きっとね、姿を消してマリアの近くに隠れてるんだよ。
She's just gazing into my soul right now.
その笑いをやめなさいといつも言ってるでしょ。
Rosa, why? I literally like you for a second and then this happens. Yup. Rosa reflexively hit Maria on the head. That put... Oh my... Rosa made a pact with herself. She swore that, at least until they left this island, she would not leave Maria alone. She couldn't allow an unknown being to make direct contact with her daughter anymore. I wonder if we can go an episode without Rosa hitting Maria. Or is that just impossible? Okay, it's 18. Sorry, doing math. That means it's 6 right now.
またローザおばさんに叱られてるのかな。
Yeah, back to my favorite character. Ever since they had met Maria in the airport, she'd been constantly making a huge fuss about Halloween. But it seems she had put Rosa a little too much. And acted a little too boisterous on the plane, on the boat, and during lunch because Rosa had warned her several times. Times like that, Auntie Rosa would... Are we playing as Jessica? Probably Battler. More commonly, she would call Maria in the shadows and scold her when they were alone. So since Maria had been caught off somewhere, they thought she... Oh, now we're playing as nobody. Great. When they looked at the clock, they realized it was almost 6. They couldn't really imagine that Maria had been... Yeah. Perhaps it had come time for some anime she watched. Oh my god, I love that. It's time for Pokemon. She'd probably just decide to stay in the mansions for her.
ひょっとするとバトラ様がお目覚めになって一緒に遊ばれているのかもしれませんね。
No, they're watching Pokemon.
マリアちゃんにとってバトラ君は新しい友達のような感じだったろうからね。そのバトラ君と飛行場でハロウィンごっこをするのがきっととても楽しかったんだよ。
バートラもずいぶんはしゃいでたな。あいつ 図体はでかくなったってのに中身は昔から全然変わらねえぜ。
そうですね。バトラ様
Oh,
は
that just scared me for a
6
second.
年
I
前
thought
の
something
ままでい
ominous
て
was
くだ
gonna
さった気
happen.
がします。
シャノンは6年前のバトラ君のこと。
ええ、何しろ大層お元気な方でしたから。
僕も6年前に4人で遊んだことを思い出すよ。シャノンはだいぶお姉さん風だったね。
そうだな、今よりしっかりしてた気がするぜ。
それはあの頃は身の程をわきまえておりませんでした。いろいろと失礼いたしました。
This is literally Shannon's theme. Every Shannon scene, this song plays.
いいよ、そんな礼儀云々は。仕事中はともかく、こうして休み時間に過ごす時の僕らはあの頃から変わ
If
ら
we
な
could
い。
all be friendly.
仲良しで居続けたいね。
I feel like you're no, don't friend zone her. I feel like he's friend zoning her.
使用人のシャノ
Even
ン
though
と
that's the opposite of what's about to
使い分けてい
happen.
いだろ。
Unless this is gonna be different. And wait, from the off-duty. I completely forgot that was her name.
奴隷じゃないんだぜ。使用人の仕事をしてるだけじゃないかよ。
So seriously, I wonder if he's gonna propose to her like in episode 1.
私はシャノンとは
I mean, like we've already had a bunch of other things
一
from
番
that
古い
episode
友人だと
happen.
思ってるぜ。
So, think of you saying no Sayos, but I think that was one of my joke descriptions for an episode.
ありがとうございます。
It seemed that Shannon understood what worked under Jessica's words, because she had heard a little bit from Jessica and Cannon about what had happened between them. Apparently, George had been informed about that more or less. George approached the window and looked up at the darkening rainy sky.
カノン君はまだ幼いのに考え方が少し背伸びしてるところがあると思うんです。
いや、
He's not mature, he's emo. I almost said the exact opposite of
も
that.
うよしてくれよ。
I love when I just trip over my words.
まあ私も雰囲気に流されてたところはあったと思うしさ。まあシャノンたちのことを見てちょっと羨ましいとか思って気がせいていたところもあったかもしれねえな。
Nonsense, it was all because of the school festival.
私のことなんかどう？それよりジョージ兄さんたちの方はどういう感じなんだよ。だいぶいい感じなんだろう？
Okay, I can just imagine that George standing by the window in the back, and he's just listening to all this.
どうなんでしょう。
うん、とてもいい感じだよ。
Oh, yep, he heard it, of course. Stan was the lost for words, her face red while George answered brightly and immediately. That carefree attitude made it obvious that her relationship was proceeding so perfectly it would make anyone envious.
やけるぜ。ってことはシャノンもそのうち寿退社ってわけなんだ。
どうなんでしょう。私には
どうなんだろうね。僕にもわからないね。
George laughed like he was being mean and drew closer to Shannon. Oh my, why are they doing this in front of Jessica? Jessica only smile awkward and say, yes, yes, thank you, that's enough. This is an awkward time to
僕
be
に
doing
は
couple
夢がある。
stuff.
それは一国一城の主になりたいというビジネス的な野望だけじゃない。生涯を共にできる伴侶と幸せな家族を築きたいという夢もある。子供は最低でも2人欲しいとか、
At the very least.
家族で一緒にできるスポーツをしたいねとか、他にもいろいろ。
Sports with the whole family. Oh, okay, so George is like imagining the kind of go to the perk family.
そんな話をよくシャノンとはするよ。
I'm sorry, George, but this takes place a little before video games started corrupting everything.
こんなことを話すといつもシャノンには気が早いですねと笑われるんだけど、僕はこの年のうちからもうなぜか落ち着いた老後のことを考えてしまうんだよ。元気に成長した子供たちと駆け回る孫たちと、そういうものに囲まれていつまでもシャノンと2人ゆっくりと余生を送れたらなって。
His glasses just get foggy at the weirdest times.
そりゃ確かに気の早い話だぜ。でもなんていうのか、ジョージ兄さんらしい話だな。
そんな家族に囲まれたらさぞ素敵でしょうね。 私の思い描いていた理想の家族もそんな感じだったと思います。
Shannon, who had been raised in a welfare institute, the harmonious image of a family was probably something she yearned for. And George, who promised that he would definitely grant that wish for her, was surely a fitting person for her to spend. The narrator is playing favorites. Shannon was an important friend to Jessica. George was surely the one most fit to entrust that friend's future.
まあ水を差すわけじゃねえけど、秀吉おじさんはともかくエヴァおばさんとかどうなわけ？
For a second I thought she was just gonna pick up some cold water and throw it on
説
them.
得は大変じゃないの？
Yeah.
そんなことは誰も気にする必要はないよ。僕が誰を伴侶に選ぶかは、シャノンは僕が幸せに。それに誰の許可が？
You need both the Montagues and the Capulet. I hope I didn't just butcher that. You need their permissions.
ジョージ兄さんかっこいいぜ。よくそんな恥ずかしいセリフを堂々と。昔の兄さんはそういうキャラじゃなかったと思ったんだけどな。
Yeah, but that was in episode 1, Jessica. This is episode 2.
男子3日合わざれば刮目して待つべし。さあ僕だって成長する。シャノンを幸せにするために僕はもっともっと勉強してふさわしい男に成長するつもりだよ。
It seemed that perhaps George had some kind of awareness of how embarrassing the words coming out of his mouth were. His face turned very slightly red and he scratched his head.
ジョージさん、
大丈夫。母さんは確かにごねるかもしれないけど、親族全員に君が僕の伴侶だと
I
認め
feel
さ
like
せて
that's
みせ
gonna
る。
be the plot of this. Like, just imagine the family dinner. George just like, surprise everyone, I'm gonna marry Shannon. Suddenly Beatrice no longer is the main attraction. Honestly, if that would happen, she'd probably kill them. She kinda loves just being the center of attention.
シャノンが羨ましいぜまったく。
そこまで言ってもらえて、恐縮です。
っていうかよ、私はお邪魔虫なんじゃないかって気がしてきたぜ。席を外した方がいいか？
Smiling awkwardly, Jessica stood up from the bed that she had been sitting on, and at that very moment the phone rang. Before Jessica picked up the receiver, wondering what they wanted, Shannon looked at the clock and was taken aback. It seemed that she had taken too long on her break.
すみません、私お勤めの時間をオーバーすと、これで失礼します。
At the same time that Jessica picked up the phone, Shannon began dashing out of the
あ、シャ
room.
ノン、またいつもの時間に。
Oh, yep, we know what's gonna happen. Hopefully she does something better
も
than
しもし、
just
ジェシカです。
taking it.
ああ、ゲンジさん。はい。シャノンは今そっちに戻ってますよ。私たちが引き止めちゃったんです。叱らないでやってください。ええ。はい。
そっか、もうじき夕飯の準備の時間なんだね。
Where's Battler? Did they cook him? Is he the dinner? Many plates were lined up on the counter in the kitchen, and preparations for dinner were proceeding steadily. The number of plates that were lined up there was... God damn it! Stop! That number was one more than we were lined up during the family conference ever. I swear, if she shows herself at this dinner, I am going to have the absolute worst time with the rest of this episode.
納得できません。どうして私が直接お届けに上がってはならないの？
Rhoda-san was flaring up at Genji-san paying no heed to the plot that was boiling over. The master enjoys having his food alone in his study, so the food must be set out in the study. Of course, this is nothing new, you understand. Rhoda-san would really like to set the table for the master with his own hands as he put his heart and soul into his cooking. But the master had imposed a strict rule that none of... Oh, yeah, he's probably pissed. So Rhoda-san could greet the master from outside the study. Not once had he been granted the honor of carrying his cooking into the study. So tragic. Rhoda-san was always unsatisfied with this. Of course he knows he's a new... I guarantee he's gonna die first again. He's just not an important character. However, he was accumulated plenty of experience from previous jobs and his strong confidence that he would be able to conduct himself properly, even in front of Kinzo, in a way that would not insult him. And yet, just because he was not permitted the Golden Eagle, he still hasn't been blessed with this honor.
それが
Oh.
彼のプライドをどれほど傷つけていた
Oh my-
か想像できるでしょうか。
Honestly, my theory is Beatrice is Kumasawa because she always appears as the freaking narrator in every scene. It's always the half of her. She like half appears on screen and then just knows all.
では今夜も再びそれを蒸し返しているのかというと、今夜は親方様の他にもお部屋まで食事を運んでもらいたいという方、その人物は非常に稀な賓客らしく、当主である親方様と同格の扱いをするように、郷田さんはこの賓客にぜひ自らの手で配膳して
Okay, new theory. There's a gas outbreak on the island and they're all tripping.
虚栄心のお強い方でござい
They're all
ま
just
すから
doing the rose garden while I got the floor running around in circles.
親方様に配膳する資格はなくても、せめてそれと同格の来客には昼食はどうしても手が開かず、カノンさんに言ってもらった。だから一年で最高の晩餐である今夜の食事をぜひ
She really
自
does
分
just
の手で
know
配膳したかったのです。ですがそれを源氏さんに咎められたのでございます。郷田さんに片翼の足がないからという、再び資格がないと咎められ、郷田さんの堪忍袋の緒が切れて、老いたわしや郷田さん。私は物陰からこうして見守るしかないのでござい
Okay,
ます。
she's definitely up to something. Like, seriously, I can do nothing but watch and you could probably talk to them.
熊沢さん、油を売っている暇があったら食堂の準備をしてきてください。
Oh, yeah, you could do
テ
that.
ーブルクロスは大丈夫ですか？
Oh my god, he's getting angry.
これは失礼を。
Oh my god, that sound effect. When it became her turn to bear the brunt, Kumasawa softly disappeared into the hall.
ベアトリーチェ様は親方様と全く同格のお方です。ルールも親方様のそれと同じものを尊ばなくてはならない。ゴーダは自分の仕事に専念し、親族の皆さんのお相手をするように。
そのようなお客様相手に源氏さんならともかくこんな子供を生かせていいのですか？
A child?
もし何かの粗相があったら失礼に当たります。確かに彼らの人
Wait,
気
what?
は
I'm
長い
so
です
confused. Are
が、
you talking about
しかるべ
Kumasawa?
き正直に申し上げてお客様に接する基礎ができていないのです。
Oh, you meant Shannon. Goda spoke bluntly even though Shannon was waiting right there in the kitchen. Honestly, Goda fucking sucks. He has done absolutely nothing, and when he does do stuff, it's just be mean. Shannon was the one who Genji had ordered to carry the food to Beatrice's room. By the ranking system among the servants permitted the Golden Eagle, Shannon was indeed the second highest rank. If the highest ranked Genji went to set the table in Kinja's room, then it fell to Shannon to set the table in Beatrice's room. Oh wait, they're gonna see Beatrice! Hooray! I thought I could go an episode without her showing up, but nope. Goda kept raising examples after example of Shannon's— oh my— As Shannon listened to this, with her head hung in shame, she heard Cannon's voice from behind her. Cannon had been listening from a blind spot, leaning against the hallway side of the— That's creepy. He probably knew that if he entered the kitchen, sparks would start to fly his way.
言わせておきなよ、最低の男だ。
でも接待の基礎の勉強になるし、郷田さんはたくさん勉強してるからとても参考に。
姉さんは優しいね。
それより貴賓室のお客様がベアトリーチェ様だ。
Oh, I just held enter.
昼
Oops.
食の配膳に行かされた時にあった。間違いなくあいつだったよ。
そう、お元気そうだった？
Cannon remembered that he and Shannon had different impressions of Beatrice. To Shannon, Beatrice was the cupid of love who granted her— yup. Judging by her happy expression, it looked like she couldn't wait to inform Beatrice of— Yeah, and she's just like, oh, I'm gonna fuck with them. However, Cannon already knew. The witch had come here with a terrifying goal in mind. That vague witch in the past only visible to them had now walked in Then why have, like, only a couple people seen her? In the past, when she disappeared from in front of Cannon, the witch had said something about how her own power was still weak. Now that the witch could appear openly like this, did that mean that she'd finally returned to her former power? And she He had said clearly that he had sown the seeds of love with the knowledge that it would fail. He had also said, he had said clearly that the day had finally come when the door to the Golden Land would be opened. I am butchering the reading all of a sudden.
シャノン、あいつは親方様と何かの怪しげな儀式をし、それには誰も抗えない。
何の話なの？
あいつはやってきたんだ。親方様が求めた黄金鏡の扉を開き、すべてを黄金鏡に戻すために。
Oh
あいつは
no!
僕に確かにそう言った。
In the past, the two of them as furniture working for Kinzo had been told what the opening of the door to the Golden Land meant. Therefore, even without asking a single question in response, Shannon understood everything. So she grew deeply hopeless. Something toward Cannon's heard as she saw. Oh yeah, that's kind of sad.
そんな、どうして今になって。
だから言ったんだ。僕らは家具だって。人間の真似事なんかして恋なんかするから。
That was not the time for this Cannon.
いつかこの日が訪れることを。
I don't get it. If they're so worried, why don't they just get like a stake and stab her or something? Like, why not?
いつまで経っても訪れなくて、私たちはいつまで家具として苦しめばいいのか。だから私思ったの。安息の日なんて永遠に訪れないんだって。
僕だって。でも必ずいつか訪れるって。僕はだから僕は家具としての自覚を忘れなかったんだ。なのに姉さんは忘れた。
私が悪いのね。私が。
ああ、姉さんが悪い。
Wow.
姉さんさえ恋を。僕たちはようやく訪れた今日を喜び合うはずだった。姉さんがくだらない未練を作って必ず去らなければならない世界なのに。
儀式は。
Why does it take so long for some of the lines to be read? Like, I get they're trying to set it up like you're watching a show, but still, they pause so long.
あいつは僕に言った。今夜ジョージ様は姉さんに婚約指輪を贈るだろうって。
That was a fact. George should have snuck in an engagement ring in his pocket today, and surely he would hand it over tonight.
あいつは姉さんとジョージ様を第二の番の生贄に使うつもりで二人の仲をくっつけたんだ。わかる？姉さんはあいつにそそのかされた上。
そうだったの。考えたこともなかったわ。
でもあいつは言ったよ。もし今夜その婚約指輪を受け取らなかったなら、僕たちが揃って黄金鏡に行ける確率はとても低いと思う。
Oh no!
13人が生贄になる。生き残るのは5人だけ。その中に僕たち2人が入れる確率は本当に低い。でも姉さんだけでもその約束が得られるなら確率はもっと上がる。僕はかけたいんだ。黄金鏡には救いがある。僕たちはそこへたどり着き人間を手に入れるんだ。そして姉さんと2人で人間としての人生を歩みたいんだよ。
Why do I feel like Shannon isn't gonna die second Twilight? Like, I feel like that's obviously a red flag. Because, I mean, last episode, it was Eva and Hideyoshi, and they weren't really that close. I mean, they were the closest of the people left. Well, actually, no, that's not true. Jessica and Natsui are, I mean, not the best relationship ever, but kinda close.
そうすれば本当の恋だってできるかもしれない。
かつての私たちは黄金鏡へ行けることを夢
Okay,
見てた
the
ね。
strategy now is to keep George and Jessica alive.
そこへ行けばどんな願いでも叶う私たちをこの苦しみから救ってくれる。そう信じてた。
However, in this ritual, only a few people chosen by fate and chance would be invited to the Golden Land. Everyone else would lose their life as a sacrifice midway through the ceremony. But in the past, Shannon and Cannon had thought that whether they'd reached the Golden Land or were made sacrifices, it would be all the same because they would be released from the duties as furniture either way. So in short, the ritual had been something that would definitely grant release to furniture like them.
僕は嫌だ。これまでの辛かった分を姉さんと取り戻したい。生贄なんてごめんだ。僕と姉さんは生き残る。そして二人で黄金鏡へたどり着く。だから姉さんを第二の番の生贄になんかさせない。頼むよ姉さん。あの男の指輪を受け取らないで。それを受け取らなければ あいつは姉さんを生贄には選ば
それはできないよ。今夜の指輪はそれを受け取らないことは。
Oh, she is so fucked.
姉さん、儀式の生贄は、その魔女が姉さんだけは見逃すと。いや、姉さんだけは絶対に黄金鏡へ生きるんだ。
I mean, she could just lie.
私だけ？カノン君は？
僕は魔女のゲームで十分。あいつの魔女なんかかいくぐってやる。僕は無力じゃない。わずかの確率を無理やり掴み取ってやる。
Dude, the last time you tried to fight back, it ended with you getting stabbed. Don't even act like you have power over the witch.
所詮は仮初めじゃないか。本当の人生を始めるために僕たちは黄金鏡へたどり着こう。
This episode is really making this hard.
そうしたらさ、僕も姉さんみたいに恋が知れるかな。もう家具だからって人を泣かせずに済むかな。
カノン君。
Okay, that line took so long to read. I was about to hit enter. Anyway, okay, so theory, the culprits of this episode, and I know I've said this before, might be Shannon and Cannon, and in their belief of the Golden Land might lead them to do all the sacrifices themselves. I mean, that would make sense. Like, I mean, they're talking about surviving, so it would make sense if they just suddenly started, like, attacking and making the sacrifices happen so they could decide themselves. Oh my god, he's finally becoming human. Cannon become human. There were tears in Cannon's eyes. It had taken Cannon until now to notice. Shannon hadn't been the only one to know and suffer the taste of love. He had too. The tears Jessica had shed him that day, and her painful smiles on all the days since he had tried to smooth things over and brighten her mood. Dad slowly brought out some kind of stains on Cannon's hair without him knowing it.
Shannon, さっきから呼んでいる。
Shannon snapped to reality at the sudden sound of Genji's voice. Apparently she'd been called for repeatedly, so he hurriedly answered. When she turned around, Cannon had disappeared. It seemed he didn't feel like showing his tears to anybody.
ぼんやりしていてすみません。
昼食はカノンに頼んだが、本来は私の次の序列のお前が運ぶべきものだ。ベアトリーチェ様は当家の最高の賓客。それ以上の賓客はいない。もう一人の親方様と思い。
よろしいですか。くれぐれも粗相のないようにお願い。
Get out of here.
なあなたに託すのは非
Get
常
out of
に
here,
心苦
breakfast
しいです
making
が、
furniture.
当家のルールとあっては仕方ありません。
Go back and make second breakfast for the hobbits.
くれぐれも頼みますよ。
You cannot do anything. Godad officially agreed, but he threatened Shannon. Look, the thing is, at least Rosa has some likable qualities. Goda's entire thing is show off, and if he can't show off, be a dick. Shannon too thought that Goda should do as he wanted that much. But considering it was her responsibility as one who had been granted the Golden Eagle, she had to give it up. Besides, I wanted to meet Beatrice. What will I talk about? What will I ask? I don't know. Will I show gratitude? Or else grief? Or else what? I don't know. Shannon rolled the witch's food on the serving cart and left the kitchen with a soul gate. Okay, where's Battler? Can we see Battler, please? He's like... Okay, nope, we're gonna see freaking Hinzo. Of course, the person knocking was Kraus.
今日は年に一度の親族会議でお父さんを一目見ようと兄弟が揃ったのではありませんか。
黙れ。出ぬと言っている。源氏、そこにいるのであろう。なぜ私の指示した通りに食事を。
Hinzo screamed. Oh my god. Genji was waiting behind
お
Kraus.
食事は書斎へ運べるよう準備しております。ただ、クラウス様が今夜はどうか下へ降りていただきたい。
お父さん、毎日とは言いません。せめて今夜だけでも家族で揃ってはくれませんか。
誰が家族か。貴様はいつから生き倒れを待つハゲタカたちを家族と呼ぶようにな。腐りて湧き出すウジ虫を家族と呼ぶようになった
Oh
の
my
か。
god.
やれ。
Kraus shrugged it. Yeah, he's just gonna walk away.
言われた通りに食事をなぜ言うことを聞かぬ。なぜ なぜ。
源氏さん、後を頼みます。もうあの人に私の声はと。
Okay, now we can probably say because Beatrice arrived. I really want to see his reaction. After Genji watched Kasuga on the stairs, he called again through the door.
親方様、お食事を運ぶ準備はできて、南條先生の分は。
Nanzo was also in the study. Because Kinzo had strongly pestered him about resolving their long-lasting chess game, Nanzo had been Kinzo's opponent since before the evening. Nanzo had announced as the doctor that Kinzo's days were numbered. In the situation, if Kinzo pestered him about finishing a chess game while he was still alive, Nanzo couldn't refuse. Kinzo was thinking deeply about his move, concentrating more than usual. It had been Kinzo's turn for quite some time, and Nanzo was tired of waiting, and had started randomly pulling out 3 moves that he couldn't understand and skimming through them.
金蔵さん、盤面を前に腕を組むだけではいい一手は出ませんぞ。一つ休憩をして頭をリフレッシュしてみるのもいいのではあり。
黙れ。守りはこれで十分か。ビショップやナイトに隙間を突かれはしないか。
Honestly, he sounds like the worst person ever to play chess with. Today, Kinzo was insisting on a strong defense. Normally, Kinzo's motto was that offense was the best defense. However, today was completely the opposite.
私も腹が減りました。ここいらで中断しませんか。
What kind of chessboard is this? This does not look like I mean, the white side it looks like okay. I get the positioning there, but I'm questioning why the knight and the bishop are right next to each other. I don't know, the CG, I'm pointing out the flaws in it for absolutely no reason.
頭がクラクラです。これ以上は私も最善手をさせるとは。
それは困る。チェスは互いに常に最善手を指さねばならん。そうでない一手は理解に苦しみ、思考を読むゲームを狂わせてしまう。それでは今日著しくそぐ。
Kinzo sighed deeply and finally shifted his gaze away from the board. Chess needs an opponent. That opponent was tired and suggested to suspend the game, so what else could be done?
確かにチェスの目的は勝利を目指すことで、そしてそれを読み合う知的ゲームですが、勝利以外にもう一つ目的があることを。
なんだと勝利以外にどんな目的があるというのか。
Get the pawn to the end.
金蔵さんがそんなこともお忘れとは。
Oh, yeah, this played in the first episode with Kinzo's backstory, I think.
チェスを通し、親友と楽しい時間を過ごすですぞ。
ああ。
参ったな。それは確か、ずいぶん昔に私がお前これは参った。
Like, I mean, Kinzo's a nice guy when it comes to his friends, though when it comes to the family, he's just like, frick this. Kinzo, who normally wore frowns about. Honestly, he reminds me of Jim Pickens. Nanzo felt like he had been okay, that's the worst comparison I've ever made. Nanzo felt like he had been reunited with a close friend he hadn't seen in a long time.
そういうことです。一本取られたついでに、どうです。私と下に降りて食事と行きませんか。
There's no way he's gonna say yes.
食後にコーヒーと一緒にカスパロフの中盤についての議論でもいかがですか。
He's gonna tell him to go fuck off.
良い提案だが、私はもうこの部屋から出られない。儀式は始まっている。
そうですか。では私はお腹も下へ降りることにします。気が向いたらいつでも。
南條、ありがとう。
おや、何の礼ですかな。
お前とのチェスの決着はつかなかった。だが、私が忘れていたチェスの目的はどうやら果たせたらしい。それはどうも、チェックメイトと同じくらい重要なものであったら。
らしくもない。何の干渉ですかな。
お前が言ったのではないか。私には余命がないと。もう行け。そしてもうこの部屋へ来るな。続きは黄金鏡であろ
う。いいですが、仕切り直しですぞ。ルークが落ちてしまったのは痛手ですのでな。それでは
Why is Nanzo accepting this?
ああ、後黄金鏡か煉獄か。
Oh, Purgatory. That's a fun location.
次の世で。
Oh, no, wait, next... Fragments? Rika Furude? Nanzo didn't say anything beyond that, and with the practice hand, he pushed the button on the table that would release the auto lock. Then he locks him inside the study. Then after looking at Kinza's back one last time, he left the study. As he did, Genji's voice came from the hall.
これより夕食をお運び。
最後の晩餐味わわねばな。準備を頼む。
かしこまりました。親方様のご準備の方は。
この部屋を今日まで
I find it so strange that he hasn't mentioned Beatrice yet.
包んだ。あれのルーレットが私を選ぼうとも必ずや恥。そして生き残り黄金鏡へたどり着くうちの一人は絶対に私となる。
Okay, I doubt that. Last episode, you ended up burned.
私を冥府へ連れ去ろうとする死神どもの来訪をも拒もうぞ。
Wow. Oh, wait, where am I now?
失礼します。
Okay, I know it's getting juicy, but we are going to end here for today. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.